Number 10. The 15th of August 1950 Assam-Tibet. Magnitude 8.6. 70 villages simply disappeared in the string of disasters generated by an earthquake with an epicenter in Tibetan Rima but which wrought most destruction in India's Assam state. Across the region, landslides claimed the lives of 1,526 people and rendered parts of the landscape unrecognizable from the air. The quake was followed by severe flooding, and 8 days after the first tremors a natural dam on the Subansiri River burst, releasing a 7-meter wall of water against nearby villages. Near the epicenter of the quake, witnesses mentioned explosive sounds that seemed to come from high in the air, while seismologists as far away as England and Norway noted oscillations in lakes. Number 9. The 1st of November 1755 Lisbon. Magnitude 8.7. The near-total destruction of Lisbon and the deaths of a quarter of the city's population were caused by an earthquake, followed by a tsunami and fire, that was felt in North Africa, France and northern Italy. In the Age of Enlightenment, the cultural impact of the quake spread even further afield as the horrors of Lisbon provided inspiration for sensationalist artworks and philosophical tracts. Voltaire penned a poem on the catastrophe and scientists found a wealth of written first-hand accounts to advance their understanding of the physical world. Number 8. The 13th of January 1906 coast of Ecuador. Magnitude 8.8. Emanating from the ocean off Ecuador and Colombia, the quake generated a tsunami that killed between 500 and 1,500 people along a coastline from Central America to San Francisco. To the west in Hawaii, rivers suddenly drained about 12 hours after the first shocks, then were submerged as a series of successively larger waves flooded the coast. Number 7. The 27th of February 2010 off Bio, Chile. Magnitude 8.8. The region around Concepcion has been recorded as a center for seismic shocks since the 16th century, but few have been as devastating as the early morning quake that generated a Pacific-wide tsunami and cost the lives of 521 people. With a further 12,000 injured and more than 800,000 left homeless, Chile was left reeling at the scale of a disaster that would cost the nation $30 billion by the end of 2010. Number 6. The 26th of January 1700 North Pacific coast of America. Magnitude 9, estimated. The only North American account of one of the continent's largest earthquakes comes from the oral history of Native Americans near Vancouver Island, which describes how the large community of Pachena Bay was wiped out by a huge wave. Across the Pacific, the quake was accurately recorded by Japanese observers of the large tsunami that struck Japan on the 27th of January 1700. The power of that inundation has been used by historians and seismologists to pinpoint the magnitude of the Vancouver quake. 6. Number 5. The 13th of August 1868 Arica, Peru, now part of Chile. Magnitude 9. Hawaii also felt the force of the tsunami created by this Pacific Basin earthquake, but here the destruction was just as heavy in South America, with the city of Arequipa destroyed and 25,000 killed. The quake was felt as far away as La Paz in Bolivia. 4 hours after the first shocks, waves as high as 16 meters inundated the coast and carried one U.S. gunboat 2 miles inland to rest precariously on the edge of a 60 meters cliff. Number 4. The 4th of November 1952 Kamchatka. Magnitude 9. The volcanic Russian peninsula was near the epicenter of the quake, but it was the Hawaiian Islands that took the brunt of the tsunami that caused $1 million worth of damage as waves scoured the coasts, ripping boats from their moorings in Honolulu Harbor, lifting a cement barge before throwing it down onto a freighter. No deaths were recorded, unless you count the 6 cows lost by one unfortunate Oahu farmer, who was left cursing an event that had occurred more than 3,000 miles away. Number 3. The 26th of December 2004 off the west coast of northern Sumatra. Magnitude 9.1. The deadliest tsunami in history was felt in 14 countries across Asia and East Africa, triggered by a megathrust, as the Indian tectonic plate was forced beneath the Burmese plate. Indonesia was the worst affected, with an estimated 170,000 of the nearly 230,000 dead. With many of the victims' bodies missing, the eventual death toll took a month to establish. Some of the world's poorest communities lost more than 60% of their fishing and industrial infrastructure. Number 2. The 28th of March 1964 Prince William Sound, Alaska. Magnitude 9.2. The Gulf of Alaska was devastated by the Prince William Sound earthquake that caused landslides in Anchorage and raised parts of outlying islands by as much as 11 meters. The resulting tsunami reached heights of 67 meters as it swept into the shallow Valdez Inlet and was responsible for most of the 128 deaths and $311 million worth of damage. The massive water displacement was felt as far away as the Louisiana Gulf Coast and registered on tidal gauges in Puerto Rico. Number 1. The 22nd of May 1960 Chile. Magnitude 9.5. The world's most powerful earthquake left 4,485 people dead and injured and 2 million homeless after it struck southern Chile in 1960. The port of Puerto Saavedra was destroyed in the ensuing tsunami, which caused $550 million worth of damage in Chile and killed a further 170 people as 5-meter waves hit the coasts of Japan and the Philippines. A day later, Volcan Puyehue in Chile's Lake District spewed ash 6,000 meters into the air in an eruption that lasted for several weeks.